Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm playing giveaway chess, where players lose all of their pieces to win, and capturing is compulsory. My goal is to win 3 games, but I will only play against higher rated opponents. Let's get started with game number 1. Alright, game number 1, we get the black pieces and a higher rated opponent starting with a3. I'm going to continue with e6, only because while basically doing research for this video, because I'm at the point now where I really do think I should at least prepare a little bit before I play these variants. Apparently, like 9 years ago, this variant was quote-unquote weakly solved, in terms that white, by playing e3, should be able to win every single game. At least that's my understanding. I'll link the wiki down below so you guys can look at it yourself. It's called Losing Chess. But I thought that was super fascinating. That doesn't actually help me in this position. I should probably figure out what my plan is here. Let's go a5. But yeah, I thought it was really amusing because apparently with the white pieces, e3 is basically a forced win in a sense. Now, obviously that doesn't account for the fact that, you know, in some lines there are up to 60 moves of theory that you have to know perfectly if you want to win. So in practical, like applicable terms, it doesn't necessarily mean all that much. But I did still think it was very, very amusing. It was a cool little piece of information that, I don't know, I just imagined I'd come across it sooner and I simply had not. Anyways, we reached this kind of weird position where I am down material, which in a sense can be good. And the opponent basically hasn't developed anything, which is quite funny. They play pawn to d3, which means I could give away my queen. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now I need to string together a series of losing material moves, basically. So I'll play here to lose the king. I'll play here to lose the knight. At least I suppose that's what I'll do. I mean, I give them an option, really. Okay, they do take the knight. Should probably drop the rook next. And this is pretty much what this game sort of turns into, is how many pieces can you lose back to back to back? So I suppose my next thought here is something like f5. Should they capture h6? So they have to capture. f4, so they have to capture. Here takes. I don't really know how I get rid of this pawn. I guess I push, they take. I drop the bishop, they take. I push, and there's no way they can stop that pawn alone. So I'd imagine that's how this game sort of rounds off. Sure, so we'll push, and we're basically just trying to string together a series of captures that the bishop has to do. Yeah, so we'll play here, they have to take. Here they have to take. Here they have to take. Are you catching on with the pattern? We'll push the pawn, they have to take. We'll drop the bishop, they have to take. And we push b4. There's simply nothing that can happen here. If they stalemate us, we also win. So this is pretty much game over. Oh, we do have to take there though. Wait a second, they're getting a little bit interesting. I mean, no matter what we promote to, we'll be able to give it away. At least I think. maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I believe that is the case. Okay, we do have to take here. I suppose I'll promote to a queen because I want to get rid of that piece as fast as possible. That's only possible if it's easy to give away. Wow, they pushed the pawn. That's really amusing. Okay, I'm going to take on c2, looking to take here, so they have to recapture. Oh, bishop to c4. Nice. Allows me to take. They have to take back. And with that, we win game number 1. All right, let's go to move on to game number 2. Oh, immediately paired. Oh, with the same opponent, who I'm now slightly higher rated than, but okay. We'll play pawn to e3. Again, a theoretical win, but I don't know all of the theory. I basically stopped looking when I saw that. And we'll go ahead and take on c6, but no, still interesting information. So they do open up the queen. Let's play here, drop the queen ourselves. We'll kind of pull the same combination we did last time. Oh, maybe we won't. Hold on a second. Okay, I think what I do here is I take on g7. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, they take on f2. Okay, should I capture, the opponent must take back, right? So then I can move my bishop out of the way. They have to take. I can move my knight out of the way. They also have to take, or at least one of these two. I think that's what I want, right? I just want to drag their piece out so they have to start making captures. Now I unprotect my pawn on purpose, so they have to take it. Nice. And now I'll move my knight over. They have 2 different options, but they do have to take something. Okay, they take the rook. Now we drop the bishop? No, because then how do I string another capture after that? Well, I guess I don't have to solve it right away. Oh wait, yes I can. I can drop the king back. Okay, king back. Okay, now what do I do? I suppose I could lose another pawn. I could drop g3 so that when they capture, I can take back, and then I can drop the rook next. That seems promising. Let's do that. g3, and we'll just sort of have that recapture ready. Okay. Oh, knight to h6 is a good find. Right, and I do have to take, and then they move the rook out of the way. Yeah, fair play, fair play. We'll take, still looking for one of these 2 pawns. We can take this one, and the king has to take back. And we're sort of back on track. Nice, we drop the knight now. I suppose they'll take it with the bishop, but the rook would be much better. Nice, because now they can take all of my pawns. I've never never been so excited about my opponent capturing my pawns. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. They have to take. Right, now I move my knight back. They have to take. Nice. I move my knight over, they have to take, and then a3, knight b3, seals the deal. Sweet. I've gotten much better about losing my pieces, and I don't know if that's a good sign. But with that, we do win game number 2. I'm gonna give them a quick cooldown second so that they can get paired with somebody else, and hopefully we can find a different opponent that is perhaps a little bit higher rated. All right, let's rock and roll. We are in fact paired. There we go. 1800. I'm gonna play my beautiful e3 move. It's hilarious because I've now looked up that this is supposedly weakly solved, but I don't actually know any of the theory. I lie. I've seen b5 and bishop takes. That is true. But beyond that, not much. Okay, I'm already out of book. This is good. Knight takes. I suppose I just want to lose material. Problem with this is that the knight can always take here, but then I can easily lose the rook again. So okay, we'll play b4. Yeah, b4. We'll move the queen out of the way, I suppose. So the knight, if it takes here, that's wonderful news for us. If it doesn't and it takes on a2, then I take back with the rook, and then I think I can get rid of that relatively easily. Okay, I have to take back. I didn't account for bishop to a6 again. Okay, that's all right. We'll take back with the rook, because the thing is, once I get onto the 7th rank, there's a couple of different captures here that are all defended. AKA they would have to recapture. Ooh, that's a nice find. I think I'm just gonna take here. If they go for the sack, I'll go for the sack as well, and we can sort ourselves out at the end of that variation. Oh, they do take back. Okay, the queen is gone. Ooh, the queen takes on e3. That's really interesting. Okay, and I either take the rook or I take the queen. I suppose I want to take the queen. The opponent would take back, and at least I have a fighting chance there. Yeah, you know what? Fair play to the opponent. I basically have to take back. They take back our queen. I could play this, knight to a3. If the opponent takes, I take back. I don't think they can stop me from giving away my bishop after, so I'm gonna play that. So it's basically like I lose 2 minor pieces for a rook, which is what I want. I guess I want to lose as many pieces as possible. Yeah, I take, the opponent takes back. Oh, but it's a fair trade. Okay, so we're still even. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I was kind of hoping I'd lose some material there. Let's develop the knight, and I want to get the rook into play as well. Okay, there's nowhere this pawn can move where it won't be defended. Oh, unless I play this and then the king moves out of the way, which would be quite funny. Okay, let's do... Ooh, what about knight to f4? There's nowhere this pawn can move where it won't have 2 defenders. Well, even 3 now. So knight to f4 should be fine. Yeah, the king develops. I have to take. The opponent has to take back. Nice. Let's advance the king just a little bit. Oh, the opponent does the same, but I can play here. They have to take. Here, they have to take, and then so on and so forth. This is nice. This is a nice little culmination. I love that the kings, yeah, the kings can stand next to each other. The possibilities are endless. Okay, rook to f1 takes. Rook here takes. Takes. But I still have 2 pawns left, and I'd rather have 0 pawns left. If I just advance my pawns and they should capture, that's not great either, to be honest. Okay, I still think this is my best bet, so I can at least get rid of the rook. Oh, they can take on e3. I totally forgot. Oh my goodness, that's that chess player just rhetoric coming into play. Right, okay. I can take here though, so it's not all said and done, but could have been a lot better than that. Wow, that was a little bit of a scare. Okay, now let me organize myself. Now, oh, I have to take on g7. Okay, but I'm taking h7 next, right? So no matter what, the opponent will have to take back, and these pawns are toast. Because I can advance one, they'll take it, and then I can advance the other, and they'll take that as well. Okay, that was a lot of up and down and side to side in terms of how emotional that game was. But I think we've secured this one. Yeah, knight to e7 means I can take. They must take back. Sweet, h4 means they must take, and then g4 means they have to take again, and that's what we had sort of planned. Ooh, okay, with that we do defeat an 1800 and we do win all 3 games. I'm kind of enjoying this though, so let's do a little extra game. Why not? When I lose, I'll call it a day to make sure I don't tilt. e3. It's funny, I have way more confidence now that I know that e3 is supposed to be at least winning for white, even though that doesn't practically mean all that much for me specifically. Yeah, we get b5 again. Look at that. We're getting the same opening back to back, so we must be doing something right. Bishop here. I suppose I have to take. I don't believe I have any other option. They take on g2. I'm going to assume this is theory as well. I have to take. Whoa, queen takes d2. That is definitely theory. They are shooting through those moves very comfortably. Okay, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here, to be honest. I suppose I continue to take and sort of ignore this. I don't know. But if I take the knight to h6, then I have to take the queen. So then the knight has to take me, and then I can give away. I don't know. I guess we'll just take. Very, very strange. Okay, they take the rook. Sure. I'll take the knight. They take back, which means I have to take the queen. Now, is there any way for them to force me to continue capturing? Yes, bishop to d5. So if I take with the bishop, then there's a5, but I can take that. So I think taking with the bishop is in my best interest. I mean, oh, well, it doesn't change much, does it? I mean, there's bishop here still. I don't know. I may already be completely lost. Yeah, bishop there. I suppose I take with the knight. e5 I take, but how do you continue to string captures after that? I don't think you can. Oh, bishop out. Oh, you definitely can. I'm just not capable of seeing it. We'll go ahead and take knight to d7. Yeah, they've got me good here. I don't know where I went wrong, and that's where I say that the fact that it's quote unquote solved doesn't mean much unless you've managed to memorize every possible branch. We get rook to d8. Wait a minute, that's not forcing. Hold on a second. Wait, what? Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is give away my knight. Next, I suppose I should do something about giving away my queen, but the rook will already capture there anyways. Okay, let's go here, and then when they take, I'm gonna take on g7, I think. Yeah, I'm going to take on g7. They take, I have to take back. Okay, so the ball is still in their court. They could still very well get away with this. Yeah, they force me to take. They advance the pawn. Now, if I play here and stop that pawn from advancing, they have to push their own pawn. And the thing is, I can always buy a tempo. So what if I just play this, and then here? Is there anything else I can make of this? I don't think so. I think it's in their court now, what basically becomes of this position. Because if I ever move this knight, they can promote to anything, and I have to take it. So I guess I'll just push my pawn and see what they come up with. Oh, wait a minute. No, now they can promote. Well, no, they can't promote to anything to take my knight, forcing a recapture, because if they do, then I'm just going to move my knight, and then they have to take the rook behind it, and then everything else. I don't know. This is weird. I understand now why this variant is so popular. It's a very tough back and forth. Okay, so they do promote to a rook, which means I have to move the knight to a3. If I were to move it to either of these squares, they can take, and then I have to take back. So a3 is essentially forced. They have two options here. They can take my pawn on e4, or they can take my rook. Wow, they take the pawn? Really? Is that so? If I give away the knight, they'll take it. If I move my rook, they have to take. Is this not better for me now? I think this might be winning, because I can buy tempo and force them to take all of my pawns and then just give away my rook at the end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm just gonna move my rook. They have no choice but to take my pawns. Another thing on that wiki page, I don't remember if it was the author himself or just an enthusiast, but I saw an interesting quote, which is that the majority of the art of giveaway chess shines through in the end game, which I thought was an absolutely beautiful quote, and it is true a lot of the time. We do get the resignation, and with that, we win game number 4. They offer a rematch, and who am I to decline? Unfortunately, it does mean we'll get the black pieces. This will now be our 5th game, and we get b3, so no more theory for me. I don't believe any of these other opening moves are solved, but correct me if I am mistaken. We get pawn to b3. I suppose we'll go with what we know, which is e6, and we do get b4. Okay, so it's basically like playing the same thing, but with the opposite colored pieces. Okay, we get this again. I'm not missing anything. I have to take on d2, surely. Yeah, they take on g7 again, and I don't have a choice, right? Unless I'm crazy. No, there's no way. I have to take the king. And then queen takes d7. Okay, it'd be really nice if I knew what the quote-unquote theory was here, but I don't. I guess maybe I just want to take right away. Maybe I don't want to walk into this, because if I take, the bishop has to take back, and then I might even give away my knight instead of my queen. Bishop takes, queen takes, they say hello. I'm going to say hello in chat. I am just calculating. Don't worry. I am just bad at this variant, so I need to calculate. I'm going to try that this time. I'm going to try taking on d7 just to see what happens. The opponent says, you is YouTube. I sure am. I'm going to say I sure am in a smiley face. That's kind of funny. Okay, bishop takes. Maybe I do give away the queen. Maybe I was being a little bit too rash. I could even just give away I have to take. There's no giveaway of anything. Okay. But the thing is, I feel like it's easier to give away your queen and force your opponent to sort of string themselves into a series of captures. Okay, I can take the knight, which means the opponent has to take back. Right, they do in fact take back. Let's go, yeah, let's just go here and give away the queen right away. I don't know, I know what I said about maybe it's easier to have the queen on the board, but it also feels like there's more opportunities to get lured into a series of trades that are unfavorable. So let's just get rid of the queen. I suppose the opponent is typing. Can you put me on YouTube? Absolutely. That's so funny. Absolutely. Hold on. Let me make sure I spell absolutely correctly. Absolutely. This will be in a video. Smiley face. All right, sweet. Bishop takes. Knight takes back. If you are watching this video, hello and thank you for playing. GG's no matter how this game goes. It might go in their favor though, because they immediately find another way to give another piece. I suppose I take with the pawn to minimize the number of moves that I can make. They say thanks, of course. We get pawn to e4. This is very reminiscent of the last game that we played. The knight is in the center again. We're in an end game with rooks. I have two minor pieces for the rook. They give away a knight. I'll take back. And now they can just move the rook out of the way and give away another pawn as well. Yeah, this is not ideal. I do have to take that. Okay, rook takes means I do have to take back. I'm gonna go ahead and take back with the pawn. And in the perfect world, I somehow, yeah, but it's very unlikely. I was gonna say in the perfect world, I somehow force the opponent to bring their rook into the game, but I have a funny feeling they're just going to give it away. Yeah, that's definitely the best way to go about this. We'll see if we can make anything of this. We get pawn to h4. So realistically, what are my opportunities here? Besides far and few between. Let's see, I suppose h6. So if they play g4, I can give away my pawn. But h5 now means if they push, they have g5 available. Okay, but I can play here and play king g6. So I play here and then h5. We've managed to give away a little bit more material. Still not great. Let's play this and give away the rook as well. Okay, they push the other pawn. They're not going to make it so easy on us. And I'm trying to think what the end game is here, because I assume they're going to push. I'm going to play something like this and try to force them to take. So I guess I should be retreating my knight sort of in preparation for giving it away. Yeah, so I'm gonna play here, which means they have to take, and I'm very curious to see what they promote that piece into. In the ideal world, they promote it to a queen, but they promote it to a rook. I can still give away some decent material here though. I can move the knight back, they have to take. I can move anything, they'd have to take and then take and then take and then take and then take. So maybe I can just string it together from here, give away the knight from the get-go, nice. And now I just have to make sure, I think that this knight ends up on this file eventually. So I'm gonna move the knight. Wait a minute. It should be fine. I'm gonna play here. They have to take, then take, then take, then take, then take. And then the last thing I have to do is put the knight on either the rank or the file. I have 22 seconds. I can't really calculate. I'm just gonna play it by vision a little bit. We'll play here. They're gonna take. I play here, they take. I play here, they take. I play here, but we get the resignation. And with that, we win game number 5. All right, the opponent does offer a rematch. I'm gonna accept this, but this will be the last game that I play. Let's go e3. I'll admit, once you sort of kind of get the hang of it, it can become pretty fun. Okay, we're gonna play the exact same. All right, this is the exact same thing. We'll go ahead and take. I'm still a little bit unnerved by the fact that I don't actually know how you're supposed to play this, but so far it's worked out both ways. I think it worked out better for me when I took the pawn though, so I'm gonna take the pawn again this time. Yeah, they're gonna take, I'm gonna take. The rook takes back, and we take back with the bishop. They're gonna give away their bishop. We're gonna take back with the knight. Ooh, e6. They don't give away the bishop. Interesting. So wait a minute. There are a lot of options here. Okay, let's, wait a minute. Because bishop b4 is absolutely free. Okay, let's go bishop b4, then queen d2. Nice. And then we'll take back with the king. They give away the bishop. Good find. e5, I suppose, gives away the pawn, right? And then knight d7, sort of the same thing that happened last time a little bit. We'll see. Yeah, we do take. Pawn to c5 gives away even more material. And I don't think there's any way to give anything else away, right? Because now I just take and they take back. Ooh, wait a minute, but I don't think I can create any other threats. So this rook is gone on a2. Okay, I'm gonna play knight to a3 so I can at least take back with a pawn and not have to actually expose my own rook. Now, if this rook ever moves to any of these files, then I can force give away my rook. They play pawn to g6. Let's go pawn to h3. They go pawn to h6. Let's go pawn to f3. Pawn to h5. Nothing I can really do about that, so let's just make a waiting move. Rook to g7, they seem to be waiting as well. Okay, do I want to go for a promotion? I suppose I do, because eventually the rook would be looking at my pawn and it would have to capture. Okay, the rook shuffles over, I push. Pawn push. But if I push my pawn, the rook can sacrifice for it. I see, okay. So that's not favorable. Let's bring the king over and try to drop the king off on g3. Oh, we get pawn forward. Oh, and I can't push because takes, I have the recapture. Okay, well, not like I have any real choice there, so we'll go ahead and play into that. I should have been more precise here on the king side. But I don't know, admittedly, it's not so easy for the opponent, because now, yeah, they have to move their rook somewhere. It can't just stay on h8. So I can give away my king, they'd have to take. And then there's a sequence there somewhere. I just have to be able to find it. I mean, it can't possibly start with anything but king to d2, so we might as well play that first. Now I'm thinking, should they capture? I push my pawn. They capture, rook to a2. They capture, I push my pawn. They capture, I push my pawn. They capture, and what on earth do I promote to there? If that's even the right sequence, I'm not even sure. Well, it's not like I have much of a choice, do I? Okay, what about this instead? I push this pawn, they capture. Rook to a2, they capture. I push, takes, but I'm off by 1 again. I push, this really is where the art form comes out. I'm just not sure I am capable of it. Okay, I push. Oh, what if I push to a7? They take, rook here. Takes, push. Takes, push. But they could take on h3 instead. But they might not. They might just go for a7 and then I can push again. Okay, well, let's give that a try. I think that's my best shot. If they take on h3 anyways, c'est la vie, at least they unlock the pawn. Right, so we're gonna push and then push. They do take, which means f7 wins us the game. Nice. Very sneaky final tactic. With that, we do win all 6 games. I'm gonna say GG's in the chat. And that is my final game. They say, thanks a lot for playing with you, bye. All right, GG's. Good games, very, very fun. All right, that is the final game. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know down below what your guys' strategies are for giveaway chess. And again, I'm gonna link the wiki down below in the description in case you guys wanna look into the research that I saw that suggests that this is at least weekly solved. I will see you guys in the next one.